half minutes until the close. So as we start to review the market, we should get the closing price here shortly. Let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for September 22nd, 2022. Qs down 1% and SPY down 2/3 of 1%. IWM down over 2%. Okay. It's been a week of waiting to see, can the market give us any reason not to be bearish. Really, everything else has been just time frame alignment. Hourly stays in a downtrend, daily staying in a downtrend, weekly still in a downtrend, right? So it's really kind of stay bearish until proven otherwise, until we get some evidence of a sustained uptrend on a smaller time frame. And so going into the rest of tomorrow and into next week, we will need to get a new reference point. We can use yesterday's high, 294 essentially, kind of as a reference for now, but you can see that's pretty far away. So the likelihood that we get there anytime soon or without getting some kind of additional pivot is unlikely. So we are going to stay bearish, as we have been bearish since we had this gap down that triggered the daily sell setup. And then we did watch yesterday it try to break above, and then by the end of the day gave it all back. So even if you were temporarily not bearish, it was only a matter of maybe half an hour before market came back in. So as far as bias on the market, pretty straightforward. Bearish, and if we somehow take out yesterday's high, which is really far away, then we would change that bias. So really, I think we're a couple setups away. All right. Let's go over the plays from today. Now, there wasn't really a whole lot of good gaps. We are out of earnings season. We are in kind of one of the four most quiet months of the year. And so in between earnings season, we don't get a lot of gaps. Fortunately, there were a lot of scalps to go after that were especially bearish with the market. So, and even some of them gave opportunities to kind of flip them as they got sold hard. So first play for me this morning was the OUST. Was watching this yesterday as it was just breaking $1. And then today you had that small gap up and then started to base right there. And then pretty nice breakdown. Level 2 was good here. Getting filled was the challenge on the OUST. I think I tried again here on this one to short it and didn't get filled. But I guess from there it got a little bit more difficult. There were some bases, actually some decent rallies here. I don't remember seeing this one. I wonder if that looked good on level 2. That's a nice little kind of breakdown and then right back into a base. We had a similar play actually to the short side that did something similar, and that was the LTCH right in here, but to the downside. So put in a base, tried to break out. The breakout failed. So then you can't even see these bars here. They're so tight, and that's because there was only a fraction of a penny spread. And then nice drop from there. So that was a really nice pattern there on the LTCH. Again, hard to get filled on to short, but nice breakout failure. Also played the laser. Laser, as it got to $8, was pretty good. Got to $8, and then level 2 was pretty decent. Did have a little pop that I had to kind of got shaken out and then had to get back in. Also had a flip eventually right in here. Level 2 wise, but you can see really this really wanted to have a very, very bearish morning. You know, I wouldn't have minded playing this as a chart play on the laser because the gap did break support, but it was just a little bit extended at the time. Not on the 2. You can see the 2 was okay to play this as a base breakdown. This is a lot like the XPEV yesterday. But on the 5 it was. And at that time of the day, I would really like the 5-minute to be more caught up to price. And that's just because it not only had the gap down, but a pretty big sell-off already on the laser. So that was pretty decent. Yeah, another just low of the day base breakdown. It's kind of like the XPEV. See the difference though? XPEV, got that sell-off, but then base long enough for the 20 MA to catch up. So this ended up being just a scalp on the laser. And then same for the VRM. Nice sell setup here, turns into a base. I did play this twice because on the initial drop I did get out and then re-shorted when it broke the lows. So that wasn't too bad either on the VRM. Again, level 2 looked pretty good. So just a few of these to carry forward into tomorrow. And that's, one of the things with the level 2s, you got to know which ones have good level 2s and which ones don't. So, these work, so I'll definitely be watching them tomorrow morning as well. Okay. And then we'll see, Qs. I mean, it has room to bounce if it wants to bounce, but, we're going to be staying bearish going into tomorrow. Downtrend on all time frames, so all the larger time frames, daily, weekly. So that will be the plan going into tomorrow. All right, hope you had a nice day, and we'll be back at it tomorrow, and I'll talk to you then. Have a good evening.